How is everybody doing? Hope y'all are doing well. I gotta reset this timer. Hold on. I already messed a couple things up, but it's all good. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all are doing all right on the Military Appreciation Night. I know I said I'd get things going, as in like I'd get special things, I actually don't know what I was going to do. I don't have pictures of it because, you know, I haven't taken pictures of the warm-ups. For the one time, I don't take pictures of warm-ups. They have the military paint jobs on their cars, but only for the warm-ups. They won't have them for the game. And apparently they will be selling the paint that they use. I don't know. I just heard. I don't actually know if that's happening. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all are doing fantastical, as I usually am. And we have a couple of notes here. My first thing I want to comment on is this is probably the most offensive onslaught versus defensive wall teams we've seen. The Baysox have scored 10 goals a game. That's something you can't pass up. I wouldn't if I were going against them, and I know that's pretty much what's on everybody's heads. Is can they slow down that Baysox team, especially the duo of Bottomus Prime and King? If you can't slow them down, I don't think you can really do much. But yeah, that's how that's going right now. Next thing I want to touch on is how will Nebulous add to the depth of the Harrisburg Senators? They already have pretty good depth, and then they traded for Nebulous to add even more defensive prowess to this team. So I will be interested to see how that unfolds, and that entire thing goes. Next thing I want to touch on, again, we already talked about this a little bit, but will King and Bottomus Prime continue to shred teams? Not that their thirds have been bad. They've just been absolutely insane, these two players. And I'd be very happy if I was a third on that team if I didn't get much recognition for it. But that's what I'm wondering for that. And for the Harrisburg Senators, will Formula kick it up? We saw him. He was there last time we had a match. He didn't really make a stay. He was just there, which is a big iffy thing. I would want to get that checked out and just make sure he's up to snuff. He's doing everything he needs to, which in warm-ups he seemed pretty ready to go. He was a little bit sluggish last week, but everyone on the Senators team is hoping he's doing better today, and he seems locked in. I'm just wondering how this will go down. I'm super excited for this. This is a little bit glitched out. All right. Well, they're heading down the field a little bit early this time, but these teams, well, maybe not the Baysox, but Harrisburg, they usually like to get right to it, I think. Y'all check me out on that one. They're heading out right now. I got to get cameras for this next season, or maybe in the playoffs. I'll touch on it while they're heading out. We will be doing off-season playoffs. I will constantly keep reminding y'all. I'm super excited. Not playoffs as in that, but the tournaments. There will be new teams. There will be new players that get to try their hand in the big leagues and in a tournament before they go, and they make their mainstay in the regular season. Well, here they go. They're heading out now, and I'll be there to commentate on all the action. Here he gets it. Right. And here we go. And welcome everybody to Military Appreciation Night, or as it just says, Military Night. We are kicking off from Harrisburg in Pennsylvania. Immediately taking it off the wall, doing the most already. I have no clue how he does that 24/7. He's got really good stamina. Here's Formula immediately coming in, but gets denied. The Bottomus and King team play, both diving at the ball immediately. Here's Nebulous, and newcomer for Harrisburg. This is automatically a really physical match. Here's Nebulous and St. Peter. A dynamic duo team. Bottomus and King now. Once again, they get it cleared out. Up, something's going on with the scoreboard. Hold on. I don't know why I have to stop the entire match. It doesn't... Well, I'm going to have to do this manually now. That's going to be dumb. Okay. It's a little bit broken. I might just have to exit out of this. Hide this for now. Okay. No special effects today, but we're just gonna have to deal with that. I guess that's the thing I was talking about when I said, you know, we're gonna have special things for Military Appreciation Night. What I said was, yes, the scoreboard's gonna be broken. Here's Nebulous trying to go for an aerial, can't though. King over in the corner. Penguin will now battle it with Formula. I don't know what kind of flipping work that was. Just King with the touch in front, but Peter is going to get that out. All three of the Baysox are on it. Triple threat, but it almost leads to a dangerous opportunity for Harrisburg. Here comes Bottomus. Gonna kick it right to Nebulous. Nebulous, good shot, scored! A mishandle in front of the net gives Nebulous an easy goal. That's gonna be his first as a Harrisburg Senator. That's gonna be a sigh of relief from Harrisburg. They just had an off night versus the River Cats, they'd say. Here comes Formula off the wall immediately. He's gonna get physical with it. Here comes King with a shot, but that gets denied by St. Peter. Bottomus clearing it in the Harrisburg zone, but here's Nebulous with it now. Forward takes a shot. It's gonna be denied once again. In the air now. He's flying like a helicopter at the moment. Here comes Formula. Up. Then he's... I guess he said yippee. We need mics on this guy. Here he comes. King's gonna send it up in the air. Best aerial player in the league, shown right there. Here it comes, the pass to Penguin. Penguin's gonna take a shot, gets denied by St. Peter. No rebound, over to the corner. In the Harrisburg zone now. Nebulous gonna try and get it out. Just scramble for it in the neutral zone. Nebulous got full control of it though. Here's Bottomus, he's gonna get that off the left post instead of it going, you know, straight into the net. Formula trying to make a pass. It's gonna end up being a shot by Bottomus. Pass just didn't get enough air. Was Bottomus with a big shot. That's going to go off the backboard. St. Peter's going to clear that before it gets into any sustainable pressure. But still, they keep it in the zone now, but not, at least not in the crease until now. But St. Peter's going to save it once again. Nebulous going to try a run in for the ball. Here's King. The shot would have went wide, but St. Peter saved it anyway. They don't call him St. Peter for nothing. There's Nebulous. It's his turn now. Denies it on a shot that wouldn't have went in if both Nebulous and St. Peter weren't there. There's King with a pinch. Centering feed. St. Peter's going to deny that before he gets into any troubles. Sustained offensive pressure. Big deal for the River Cats. But have they cleaned up their game, the Harrisburg Senators? Because they really didn't look that clean, let me tell you that, when they went against the River Cats last week. Here comes King. Down the left side with a head full of steam with Bottomus as well. Bottomus takes a shot, goes off the backboard, straight to the other side of the field. Penguin with it, the third man for the Baysox. big hit from Nebulous. Here's going to take a shot. King's going to save that one, though. Here he comes off the aerial. Here's a double touch off the left wall. St. Peter's going to save that one. Here's a rebound. Going to go into the corner now for the Harrisburg Senators. There goes King with the pass, I think. I don't know what that was, but it did something. But that something was not a goal scored, so not a very good play in his book. He loves scoring goals. Told me about that on Wednesday. It's Penguin. It's not Penguin. It's not him, guys. Here's Bottomus. He's going to get it taken away by Nebulous. Nebulous trying to go for the aerial. Can't get it. And he gets shoved out of the play. Here's over to King. Formula's going to try and save that one. It goes off the left post. King's going to pinch it once again for his buddy Bottomus. He's going to take a shot off the right post. Shot again. Saved by Nebulous. Penguin bot trying to shove it away. Nebulous. Beautiful save. St. Peter watching it. Another great save. Get that from any danger. Here's King. The chip goes straight to Nebulous, however, in the neutral zone. Going to kick it to the Baysox corner. Baltimore trying to get it out. Nebulous being extremely dangerous. The King's trying to steal that title away from him. His Bottomus going to clear the zone for now. Here comes Penguin. Hasn't done much noise lately. Here's a shot immediately saved by Nebulous. Challenge, big hit from Formula. Penguin's doing some like gymnastics with his vehicle. And then Bottomus shoves his friend. Buddy to buddy action. You're telling me you don't aggressively shove your teammates? Because I sure do. What am I talking about? That's going to get me bad publicity. Nobody is ever going to want to play with me. Here comes Bottomus down the stretch. In the corner now. Over King with the center feed. Nebulous going to get it out of the crease for the time being. He's going to flip on it. Going to get to the right post before St. Peter gobbles that one up, and here he comes again. He's backing up into it. River Cat's favorite move. Here comes King. King just ran into the wall. Debuting all the strategies. King just tapping in the air a million times. Here's St. Peter getting that out. Penguin's going to keep it in the zone. That's actually Bottoms once again. St. Peter's going to try and get out of the zone for Baltimore once more. Formula's dead. What the frick's going on? Formula just died. He's back on his feet, however. I don't know how the ref didn't stop this play. There's a shot scored by Bottomus. Holy crap, I didn't even see. I was looking at the time. And then Bottomus, with his insane speed, or lack thereof, with a huge shot going 44 miles per hour. And they just couldn't clean that one up. What a beautiful play. Penguin spamming chat like the goat he is. And here we go. Big face off here. Gonna get a 50-50. King's gonna hit it off the ball. Imagine he's gonna chip it for his teammate. Sadly, no one's there except him. He's gonna get another shot saved by St. Peter. What am I in the left corner? Actually, right corner. Bottoms again. Same strategy. Here's Formula. Doesn't really get much. Here's St. Peter with yet another save. Bottomus keeping in the offensive zone now. Harrisburg's biggest problem really hasn't been that big of an issue tonight because Nebulous is a thing that exists. Here's a Nebulous with a shot off the left wall. Gets really nothing. Here's King off the wall as well. Bottomus and King with the team play. Here's Nebulous. Solo play, but it goes over the net. Here tries again, but King is coming, showing why he is the #1 aerial guy in the league. Formula puts it in himself. He's selling for his team. I don't really know what that was. Penguin puts it left wide. Formula trying to dribble it, and then he just lets it fly. Insane play from Formula. Not what you want to see. Am I right? I think Harrisburg is booing him, and Nebulous clobbers him as well. Bottomus over to King to put this one away, or maybe not. Bottomus once again with that pass. Really dangerous for the Senators with 1 minute remaining. There's a hook shot by St. Peter. Going to go off the right post. King is going to get off the crossbar. Nebulous shot. Scored! He's going to barely save this game. Off the right post. King almost doing a Formula Bot thing. Going off the crossbar would have been extremely bad for his brand. But Nebulous is just going to seize that opportunity with that insane crease play. I don't know what he was really going for. 45 seconds. Clock is winding down. Can Baltimore get something going here? Is what I'm saying. Well, King's doing some stupid crap. He's going to get a shot. Scored! Holy crap. That was the most insane goal I've seen all year. Holy guacamole, as I call it. Shattered the front of the net. This is make it 3-2. The greatest goal scorer all season. My goodness. Here's Formula. Trying to make up for his mistake. Possibly off the right side. 23 seconds remaining. Nebulous. Making the corner now. Open net. But nobody's there. Here's Formula, but he's too late. Off the wall, battling with King. Here's King with another aerial. Over to St. Peter. St. Peter's going to get it. What can he do with King? Is doing something. Nebulous in the air one last time. King's going to try and put this one away. He gets it done tonight. What an amazing performance outside of that one pretty much own goal. But we're not going to talk about that. That was an insane game. And your final score for Military Appreciation Night. The Harrisburg Senators 2 in the Baltimore Baysox 3. That was a really close game. Harrisburg usually likes being on the low scoring side of things, and I think they got it done. Formula Bot didn't show up again. I wouldn't be surprised if you heard trade rumors about him coming soon. But that was an insane goal. I'm not gonna lie, 1 second, that was the greatest goal I've seen, probably like with my own two eyes in Rocket League. How does a bot do that? Like, are we seeing the same thing here, y'all? But what a historic performance for the Baltimore Baysox. I wouldn't say historic, but they got it done tonight. They got the W on the board. And Harrisburg, they had a really good game. I think the only thing is that they need to, I would think, trade Formula, or at least get him in the right mind space. When he's in the right mind space, everything clicks. And for the Baysox, I'd just say keep going. They got shut down a lot tonight, but when you have St. Peter and Nebulous in one team, that's going to happen. And it's just the amount of offensive pressure you can sustain, and they did a really good job with that tonight. I'd be insanely ecstatic right now if I was a Baltimore Baysox fan. There seems to be a lot more to come for this Harrisburg team. I wouldn't count them out just yet. But for now, that's going to be all. Let's check the schedule for our next game. I should, have this ready, but I like to do that. Our next game will be the Buffalo Bison will be at home against the Sacramento River Cats. That one's going to be pretty good. The Aerial Goblins, which, might be the Baltimore Baysox now, versus the Control River Cats. I can't speak English. But I'd highly recommend you tune in for that one. That one will be on June 5th. So we're taking a break today on Wednesday. And that will be at 9 p.m. at Farmstead, pitched in Buffalo. Alright, I gotta stop adding things. Well, that will be all, folks. Thank you all for tuning in one more time. Hope you have a great rest of your night. I'm Tetro, and this has been the ROBA. Good night.